Hello, it's me. Hello, my name is Brian. This is Football Manager 22, and we're back in Liga, starting in on the club vision screen, where our job security is down to secure from the hyper secure it was at the beginning of the year. The management is happy with our club culture. We are playing possession soccer and high tempo pressing soccer. We are working within the payroll budget. As you will soon see, we are going to reach the first knockout round of the Europa League. And this is the one that has been befuddling us, and just before this game, I believe it was actually a negative. They are pleased that we are mid-tabling, but we were low mid-table until this last win. But it's a close thing. But overall, our performance hasn't been as happy as I'd like. We are working on improving our training facilities. They will be up and done in middle of January. I'm looking forward to that. So let's take a look at where we're at. As you can see, we hit a spike down in 18th, and since then have crawled up to 12th. Things aren't amazing, but we're not going to get relegated. Cadiz is the best of the bottom three on 10 points, and we're already at 20. And we're just 5 points away from 7th, though we're a full 10 points away from 6th, and guaranteed safety European football next year. But there is another way we could have European football next year, and that is through the Europa League, as well as the Copa del Rey, but we'll get to that. So let us take a look at the Europa League. So, yeah, you were here with this 5-0 victory over Luzern. It was great. And then we went to Turkey and beat Galatasaray 5-0. And that was surprising and delightful. And then we went to Napoli and actually drew them 2-2. Which made me feel pretty good about the home leg, which we won 2-0. And then we invited Galatasaray to our place and beat them 5-0. So this game isn't really exciting at all in terms of the results. We have clinched the first qualification spot. Napoli has clinched the second. Because we have a win and a draw against Napoli, as well as a ridiculous goal differential. Whichever the tiebreaker is, we have it. Let us take a look at La Liga Santander. I think the Luzern cutoff was right here. We proceeded to draw Real Betis at home. I really think that should have been a win, but it wasn't. Loss at Real Madrid is fine. And we rated the ship slightly. Home win over Real Oviedo. Road win over Espanyol. Home draw against Valencia, but Valencia is a good team, so I can live with that to some extent. Beating Cadiz on the road. Cadiz is a bad team, so I can definitely live with that. This home draw against Malaga, on the other hand, was infuriating. They scored... This kind of... Teams have been killing us on back post headers, big crosses across the box. Fernandez's 11th and 19th, I believe both were along those fashions. I don't feel bad about losing to Villarreal, and then we beat Bilbao at home, lost to Sevilla at home. I just, would love to crack one of these into a draw eventually. This is a shameful loss. We continued to give up really early goals, and this is the second minute. We did grab it back in the 34th, but then in 90+1, they broke our heart. Real Vallecano is not that good of a team. We should have won that one. At least we did win this Gijón on the road. Looking forward, Barcelona, it's a home game, but it's still going to be dangerous. Osasuna, even though it's on the road, and they're fifth. How is Osasuna fifth? I'm going to examine that. I don't really believe it. They were 13th last year and coming off of getting promoted out of the Segunda division. Who did they bring in? Did they bring in anyone? P/EX. What does that mean? They spent some money. Solly March might have been their big expenditure, a 33-year-old left midfielder, maybe left back. But and that was a bunch of small signings. don't think any of them are really needle movers. Certainly, it's nice to have a good left back like Jesus Vasquez seems to be. But yeah, it's possible they've also just had a super favorable schedule and are backloaded with the tough teams. They still have to face Atletico, us, Real Sociedad, Real Madrid. It's not the easiest back half of the schedule, but it's also not like a complete joke. So good for them. Hopefully we turn things around against them. So I have signed Emmanuel Jajege to an extension. This wanted tag on him got me very, very nervous. Bournemouth, Norwich, Benfica, Sporting, Portugal, all are wanting him. Just continuous up arrows. So he had been making about $800K per year. Now he's making 1.6 million, so basically double his salary. But for that, we also doubled his more than doubled his release clause up to $50 million. So if someone wants him, no longer are they just coming in on $20 million. They need to really give me a lot of money to take him away. Callio, on the other hand, could be at risk. Signed through 2030. Maybe it's time to look at giving him a new contract. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at also who I'm signing. Babangida. The offers I've been getting from Babangida aren't even close, even though we have, 4 different German squads in Norwich allegedly interested. He is valued at 10 to 14 million, but he has a $20 million release clause. $30 million release clause, excuse me. So I can't imagine them coming in and triggering that on. I mean, maybe they will, but they don't have a ton of money. We won't have a goalkeeper. Galabua signed through 2031. I'm not really concerned. Sessingen signed through 2029. Maybe a little concerned there. He is 27. This is making a lot of money, though. Why is Norwich in on all of my players? Are they desperate to survive and I have the cheap players? Yep, they're 18th in the Premier League. They are desperate to get some talent in, and apparently I am probably one of the cheap options among the big five. But anyways, I am going to work through that. And also back to Emmanuel Jajege. So I felt like part of the struggle so far has been Emmanuel Jajege. He's a very good player. You see all the up arrows, 4 stars, talent. Now regularly gets caps for the Ivorian Coast national team, just being 21. And the problem is he's just a very weird player. His pace and acceleration are okay. He's not amazing. What's good are his strength and his jumping reach and his balance. He's a very strong player. He's kind of like a target forward, which we don't exactly play with in theory or structure. But he's not like a target forward you lump it up to him and then he just bangs it home himself. I mean, if he gets in it on his head, he certainly can. But it's not like if it falls to his feet, he's going to finish. He has 9 finishing, 11 composure. Those aren't really great numbers for putting it past the keeper. And if it gets to him and he's supposed to move it on to someone else, he only has 9 passing. It's functional, but 11 vision. He's not picking out the best passes. He's just kind of going to kick it in the right direction. So he's a target forward that doesn't target. He's a deep lying forward, kind of. He's marking 7 and tackling 7, which is actually pretty good for, a striker. He reminds me of, and this is, very American biased, and let's see if he's still in the game this far down the line. Yes, Ghazi Zardes, the American player who played for my Columbus Crew there for a number of years as lead striker and also played for the U.S. national team. In that he, was not a clinical finisher by any means, though he's 10 to 13, already better than Emmanuel Jajaje, but he found some ways to score some goals up top. Had some good physical attributes, and at least with the Columbus side, he always seems to drop deep and get involved in defense. More so, they'd play a 4-2-3-1, and it'd kind of invert in that the center attacking mid would always stay high up the pitch, and he would be the one dropping back to harrow the defensive backs, and not be the one completely just waiting to break the last line of defense. And so in that sense, he reminds me of that. He's a complete forward who isn't complete. He's a weird player. He's a good player, but he's a weird player. And, just expecting him to sit at the end of the defensive line and score goals is just not his forte. He's got 4 goals in continental play, so in 5 games. But in the league play, 12 games, he's got 3 goals. We need more goal production out of him than that. And so I'm like, okay, so if he doesn't score goals well himself, then what about if we changed our formations? What if we played for him? He needs a strike partner. That's what I'm seeing based on his attributes. He needs someone up top with him. So what if we just roll back and play a simple 4-4-2? We don't, have the best options in regards to left midfielder, right midfielder, but we have some players who can dip into there. Certainly have plenty of center midfielders, and all the defensive lines all the same. Luckily Gayabua can play on the right wing. And so I figured I have a completely unimportant game against Luzern here on the road. And basically I would like to see how this formation goes. Now, I know this isn't the best of tests because we just killed Luzern last time we played them. This is on the road. So I don't expect them, they'll be tougher, but still, I can't imagine they're going to be that impressive. But I guess I'm just eager to see the kind of shape we'll have. They're bringing out a very defensive formation, a 4-3-1-2, with what it appeared to be 3 defensive midfielders, 1 center midfielder, and then 2 strikers. So it looks like they're going to try and play counter-attacking Route 1 football. Obviously, a nice thing to get a first seed clinched is that we should be put into the pot to draw against a second qualifying team. So theoretically, those should be easier, and obviously, we shouldn't get drawn against Napoli. Interesting. Musa Hens to the end line, gets a good cross off, or a long cross off. Gayabua's there, the right winger. Doesn't quite get his hand on it. Did they make a substitution already? Maybe they picked up an injury. It seemed like the box popped up that suggested that. Kawio plays along, and Gayabua does just barely get there and keep it in bounds. Sessignon, excuse me. And there we are. Nice little passing in the box, and the ball goes to Mortalisao. And he slots it past the keeper. Our next game is a home game against Barcelona. And I don't know. I'm still debating whether I want to bust this out against them or not. Give it another game test. Oh, like it says, Musa Michael has a tight thigh, so we'll keep an eye on him. But he doesn't have an injury tab. He's still pretty solidly in the green. I'm not going to pull him just yet. Sessignon tries to play along for Gayabua, but he can't run under it. Defense has it. Get a bit of a press up on their central defenders, like that. They play it long. Sessignon does not win the header and goes into the middle. Alabi does break past our defenders, but Babangida makes an easy save. I unfortunately don't think the... Oh, what is the rules? What are the rules? Because I know... I guess I've forgotten how exactly the qualification works. I think actually Chatty Riyadh, off the woodwork, off the goalie's hands, not in. I actually think qualification 1 means we get a bye. I think if you qualify number 2, then you have to face a third place team from the Champions League coming down, and then we face the winner of one of those. I think that's actually what it is now that I think about it. I had, in previous thought processes, forgotten about my brilliant accent work there. Had forgotten about the Champions League third placers falling down into the Europa League. So we might have a little bit of a break here from Europa League football, which would be good. Certainly part of the problem that we've good pass there, but good defense to slide in the way. Cowio, on the other hand, definitely has an injury here, a pulled groin. We're putting in Charles Abbey to play up top with Jaja J. Again, hand woodwork barely cleared. So yeah, part of the problem in the league might be that in La Liga due to Europa League football, we've had to rotate a little more aggressively than I would have liked. That Anu started a number of games at right back due to Sessegnon's injury. That even when he's back, they've kind of had to rotate spots because Sessegnon just doesn't have... well, that's a trip by Gayabua. Probably a yellow card. Yep. Doesn't have the stamina in our conventional system to run as much as we would like our right back to run. Bad center from Sessegnon. And ball's led well for Felber, but defense does get back, and it's always scary when they do make a successful pass back after achieving the end line, as your defenders are often just not paying attention to them. Michael Musa dribbles it right to a defender who dispossesses, and now they get to dictate to us. Chariad lays back to Babangiru, plays it out to Sessegnon, taps it over to Hamidi. Hamidi goes and lumps it forward to no one in particular. Maybe not ideal. Scholes up to one of those brilliant silent N's, silent D's. Enge, Denge, Dege, Denge, probably. We are slightly winning the possession battle, 87%. The passing completion battle, 87% to 84%. Though 87% is far less than I would like. So that's something that's counting against this formation. It looks like we are either even or winning the possession battle. That's certainly a positive, though, given their formation. Unsurprising. Okay, pivots, plays to Jaja. Jaja looks for the cross, but can't find it. Ball's played to Charles Abbey, but he was way offsides. Gayabua is gassing out at that right wing spot. He also has a yellow card, so probably looking to pull him here. Don't need him getting sent off and creating an opportunity, even though, again, the game does not matter. Charles Abbey running down the end line, crosses, looking for Jaja, and there it is. A header from the man, Emmanuel Jaja. Tunash does get a hand on it, but it's not enough. Good stuff. All right, so do we have anyone else who can play right midfielder? Not really. You don't have the pace. Sessegnon might be able to, kind of, though. No, I mean, he probably can in terms of attributes. He doesn't have any experience there. And we could pivot back and reconstruct the team here. Abbey would be playing there. And boom, suddenly we're back in correct spots, and we have a lot more options to replace Gayabua at defensive midfield than we do at right midfield. I think we'll go ahead with this route. We will bring in Ananu for Hamidi, actually, and we will bring in... We'll bring in Sammy for Gayabua, but we'll do that by pushing Youssef back to defensive midfield. Okay. Throw in from Boyomo. We will certainly be starting Traore next game, as he sat this entire one. Next game is obviously the important game against Barcelona, home game. Yeah, he certainly would love to wrangle a draw out of them at least. Right, the form of the team has slightly changed. There we go. Sessegnon leads on Musa Michael, who slaps it past the keeper. They're throwing up their hands in outrage, but Musa Michael stayed on sides. You can't tell me otherwise. It's a goal. Cut down on this so you aren't sitting here for a half hour and just sitting here for 25 minutes listening to me ramble on like I was Led Zeppelin. I am very far from Led Zeppelin. Ball's played over the net in one of their few attacking actions. Some very good ratings across the team. Sessegnon on 8.2, Jaja on 8.3. Mortalisao with a bruised shin. When we go back to the menu, I think I will actually take him off here now that we've rolled into the 82nd minute. Again, it just doesn't matter, and so if we give up a goal or even two, we're fine. Obviously, there is a payday based on performance, so I don't want to drop this into draw territory. Draw is worth roughly $250,000, while a win is worth $750,000, and yeah, we could use all the money we can get. We're not Barcelona. We're not Madrid, where we just print the dollars. We need every penny we can get to bring in players. Frustrating. It just flew by. I have my eye on a young 18-year-old striker from Wolfsburg, who's with Wolfsburg anyways right now. I think he is someone I'm interested in bringing in. I think he has true 4.5 to 5-star potential. Current 2-star potential, or 2-star current ability. He may or may not be good enough to start for us right now. Not start, but even be in the rotation right now. But I still might force it if I can't find him a good loan. Pull him off. It's just so important to develop players and to develop players who can truly be impact players. I was looking at my roster right now, and we have a decent amount of players who are 20 and 21, but that does mean they are actually in game. Most of them are approaching the end of their developmental curve. They can, sometimes keep developing until 23, but it's rare that you have players develop significantly beyond that. At that point, it becomes more a matter of trading stats, where they pick up mental attributes, but start to, I don't know. Good job from Musa Michael to come back and pick up the ball. Abby on a bit of a run out. Bumped, but holds on to possession. A wild cross. What is Sessegnon doing all the way over here? And you see him migrating across the field if your eyes wander to the right instead of following the ball to the left. Bueno, Michael, but we're really just happy to run out the clock and accept our 3-0 win. And here it is. Now they do get off one more pass. And gently applying along to Winger, an aptly named player. But hey, Liga with a 3-0 win over Luzern in Switzerland. Immediately flying back to Almeria to play against... looks like we'll have to sit Sal for the game with Barcelona, and we get $750,000, and then a bit over $1 million for achieving first place. Certainly love that. And then basically another $250,000 of unallocated prize money. Good job, Cessignon. So yeah, that's where we're at. I will be back with you in sometime in the end of January, presumably, once the winter transfer window has closed. We already have one player coming in who I signed a couple weeks ago. And then there's the question of just, do I make a play on that kid from Wolfsburg? We have $8 million in transfer budgets and about $1 million in payroll budget. Obviously, we can move that around a little. But I guess I need to go check the salary of the kid we're bringing in and adjust that as part of my mentality. But hopefully by the end of January, we'll have a couple more games to talk about. We'll have this game against Barcelona, the Osasuna, Alaves, Getafe, Granada. Hopefully that's a good streak for wins there, especially this all at home against Alaves, Getafe, and Granada. Hopefully we can carry the momentum into Atletico Madrid and at least grab a draw on the road against them, and then beat Real Sociedad at home. We'll probably had 2 or 3 more Copa del Rey games, probably 2 more, assuming we keep winning, to talk about. And the Europa League second knockout round, so we do bypass the first, won't happen until March. So we might have an opponent drawn then, but probably not even then. So that'll still be a mystery, and there'll be a video probably for this game right here. 316 will be my next video. Thank you so much for joining me. I certainly would love to hear from you, whether it be theory crafting. Does my 4-4-2 make any sense? Do you agree with me about Jaje's potential, but also his limitations, and needing to play 2 at the top to balance him out, as it were, as he does so many productive things, but also just struggles in frustrating ways? Or, should I just keep doing what I'm doing? I know this formation... Not this formation. I know this formation works. I've won a Champions League with this formation. And it's really, I just don't have the players I think I do. Or I don't even think I do have them, but I need to find more better players. Or we've just got unlucky this year. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you have a lovely day. And I would look forward to joining back with you soon. Have a nice day.